Of course it wasn't made up. Of course that story that got leaked a while ago about the letter that Donald Trump allegedly, he did it. Sue me, Trump. Sue me. Just take me to court. Do it. I dare you, Mr. President. Donald Trump sent a letter to Epstein. It was meant to be a birthday letter, and it was like a really weird, bizarre, like, pedophilic poem. You know, you guys know the one? I did a whole segment about it. It was really big in the news media recently. If you guys don't know, well, you are about to become familiar in about a moment. Well, Donald Trump denied that the story was true. And granted, there was no leaked letter. You know, we just had the knowledge of its existence that leaked. Conservatives, of course, tried to ignore it. They tried to hand wave it. They did not want to acknowledge the obvious fact that Donald Trump and Epstein are closer, or were closer, than they'd like to admit. And now, more is coming out than they can really bear to bury, I think. This particular reveal is going to be pretty significant. If people really care as much about the Epstein files and stopping predators such as Jeffrey Epstein from doing what they do in the future, then they should care about this. Let's hope that they do. Now, before we get into this, I want to say, did you guys see what Donald Trump's new goalpost move was? It's hilarious. First, Donald Trump claims all of this Epstein stuff, it's a Democratic hoax. Then he claims, okay, well, me and Epstein, we just had a falling out over a property dispute. And then he claims, okay, well, Epstein, he was poaching underage girls from my employment. It's like, okay, you're making yourself look worse. And now it's, I shit you not, Donald Trump is claiming that he was an FBI informant sent to spy on Epstein. I'm not joking. Trump has gotten the FBI, his FBI, mind you, that he appointed all the people on, to say that his engagement with Epstein was as an informant for the federal government. So his final goalpost move is, even if he did diddle kids, he was doing it heroically. I shit you not. They will actually try to turn it into Donald Trump was a hero for doing that to those kids. He was an informant. So we really are, digging our feet in any way possible to defend this guy at this point. You know, if you've remained in any way gaslit by conservatives that they believe in anything good and are not just demons trying to destroy all good and happiness in the world as a rule, then hopefully this wakes you up from that delusion. Anyway, folks, before we get into this, be sure to leave a like and a comment on this video to help please the AI overlords who decide whether or not I get to eat this month or have a house to live in. The algorithm is brutal these days, so your likes and comments really do help a lot. I appreciate it. With all that said, though, let's get right into this, because the letter in question leaked today. Like, the letter itself. Not the knowledge of its existence, the actual letter with Trump's shitty little drawing and everything. And it has gone super duper viral. So, as you can imagine, it's my turn to talk about it. Congress actually released this, funnily enough. Congress is no longer, on certain issues, Congress is no longer glazing Trump's dick. Notably, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is actually quite notably leading, or one of the biggest leaders in the congressional move to expose Trump if he is implicated in the Epstein files. If anyone is, really. And that is one of the rare W's, I guess, that has come out of this from, of all people, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Then again, her level of crazy has always read to me as genuine mental illness, less than grift. So I shouldn't be too surprised that when there actually is a conspiracy that, and everyone knows and agrees it's real, that she would be on board with it and, wanting to expose said conspiracy. It's like, yeah, okay, makes sense. And not conspiracy theory, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying literal conspiracy. Anyway, folks, let's hop into this video and find out the news. This all came out like an hour ago.
This is a bombshell, folks. The House Oversight Committee in the House of Representatives got its hands on Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday book, the one that Donald Trump sent to Jeffrey Epstein, the letter that Trump claimed he never sent. Well, the House Oversight Committee got a copy of the birthday book from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. It fully corroborates the reporting by the Wall Street Journal. It shows that Donald Trump did indeed send the letter to Jeffrey Epstein exactly how it was described in the Wall Street Journal article. Donald Trump.
I love how... Did anyone have any lingering doubt that this story was true? Like, any at all? Like, is there any part of you that falls for it when Trump or his cronies say the Democrats are just making up a hoax about him? Because you gotta get rid of the part of yourself that thinks that way if it does. Anytime something like this comes out about Trump, it always ends up being true. At this point, I am not going to be surprised if we find out in a couple months, like definitively, that he faked getting shot. I'm going to be real. Every passing day, I wake up and I'm more sure he faked that shit. Literally every single passing day, I am more sure that I didn't originally think it could possibly have been faked. Now I'm starting to lean towards, fuck though. Trump totally would pay off a guy to get himself killed, firing, like, I don't even know. I don't even know how they would pull it off, but Trump would do that. He would try to do that. I'm just saying.
Trump did the doodle of the naked woman on the birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein. Trump's signature was in the pubic region. Let me show you the actual letter. Pull it up right here. You can see the letter. I'm going to read it for you so you can see it. That is indeed Donald Trump's signature. And you will recall that Donald.
Now, I don't want to body shame or anything like that, but there's just something about the proportions. You know? Just something about the proportions that seems odd to me. But maybe I'm thinking too much about it. You know, I'm looking for, like, pedophilic dog whistling anywhere possible in this because it's a conversation between two pedophiles. The Patriots from Metal Gear are real? Is that it? Like, this is the real-life version of, like, how cool Metal Gear lore is. In real life, the Patriots are just a couple of, like, old, white, rich guy pedophiles writing poetry to each other about how much they love kids. It's like, yeah, guys. The ultimate Metal Gear plotline. To be fair, there was, like, some big, like, recently revealed thing about Trump sending Navy SEALs into North Korea to plant listening devices, and it went horribly wrong, and admittedly, it did read like a Metal Gear plot. That was pretty funny. It was like if they sent, like, the Z team to go bomb Shadow Moses.
That is indeed Donald Trump's signature. And you will recall that Donald Trump has been on tape saying, absolutely, I've never sent that. I don't do doodles. I don't do drawings. Trust me. Donald Trump sued the Wall Street.
Trust me, guys. Did someone die? Yeah. Did you guys not hear about this? Navy SEALs lit up a bunch of North Korean fishermen in the middle of the night. They got in, like, little, you know those little, like, handheld mini subs? Like, not mini subs, like, aqueous vehicles? Like in Subnautica, like the what you get before you get a mini sub. Like, Navy SEALs rolled up with those up against the beach and then thought they were caught, but apparently they weren't because it was so dark. But the Navy SEALs were wearing night vision, so from their POV, it looked like their friends were caught. So they just these North Korean fishermen in the boat and just murdered them and then dipped out. They left. Yeah, that came out, like, I want to say, like, 2 days ago. That was pretty funny. I watched a Midas Touch video about it, actually. Speak of the devil.
Journal for billions of dollars, claiming that he did not send that letter. MAGA Mike Johnson and J.D. Vance were out there saying, you have to trust Trump. He did not send that letter. No way was it possible. He would never do such a thing. Well, we have the letter. And of course, this shows what we talk about all the time.
Mind you, that whole thing happened in his first term. It only came out recently because some of the Navy SEALs spoke to media. They spoke to the press. That's how we found out. It is not a declassified mission by any means. America does not publicly admit that this mission took place. But back in Trump's first term, Trump sent Navy SEALs into North Korea to plant listening devices. And they murdered some North Korean fishermen because they thought they were caught. They engaged reflex mode and popped those fishermen in the head, even though they did not hear the noise. Zan, I'm surprised the Midas Group hasn't talked with you. Why are you surprised by that? I'm a small creator, dude. No one in the lefty sphere really pays attention to me. I think the last time I got acknowledged by a relatively decent-sized progressive figure was Hutch. I've been like nothinged by most of the online left space, so it doesn't surprise me that like Midas Touch probably doesn't know who I am. It wouldn't surprise me.
Time he lies about everything. Of course he's all over the files. Of course he's covering up his involvement. Of course that's the reason why he's saying this is a Democratic hoax. Of course that's the reality, but hopefully this drives this home even more. Hat tip to the new ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, Democratic Congressmember Robert Garcia, who since he took charge of the House Oversight Committee, it's been an entirely new ball game, folks. He's been leading the Democrats to be aggressive, to push back, to get...
And it has even gotten some Republicans on board, because keep in mind, the one thing about the House is that these representatives really got to keep their constituents happy. Like, if they don't get reelected, they're done. Their political career is practically over. Like, maybe they could bring it back in another area, in another place, but that's it if they can't maintain their seat, at least for a couple terms, right? And so someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene or any number of Republicans, if their district is very favorable towards the idea of releasing the Epstein files, regardless of who might be implicated in them, it might be political suicide to not be on that side, even if it's also maybe political suicide to fuck over Trump. And so I think some of these representatives that were previously loyal diehard MAGA are in a situation now where they kind of have to go against Trump, or it's 100% their political career is done, or they don't go against Trump, and if they do piss him off by doing this, then it only means their career might be done. Because without Trump support, like, they might still be able to pull through the victory, but they definitely can't if they piss off their voters and what their voters want. So that's where I think there is still the smallest amount of democracy that exists within our system right now. Like, the whims of democracy are still somewhat present.
Get these subpoenas out to cut through the obstruction. It's been a whole world of a difference. So earlier today, Congressmember Robert Garcia posted, House Oversight Democrats just received the Epstein birthday book and additional documents from the Epstein estate. More soon. Then shortly thereafter, the House Democrat Oversight Committee posts the following. By the way,
why are we not getting like 1 million warrants for everything Epstein, by the way? Why are we not getting warrants for every Epstein property so that we can like rip apart every property he owns? Why are we not getting warrants for every device, server, etc., social media platform that he had an account on? I want to see all of the shit there. I want to know everything that comes out. That's where all the shit's going to be. If like they have it all, if they don't, yeah, if they're not doing those things, then they clearly either already have it and are holding on to it, or don't care about finding it because they don't want it to get out. Either of these scenarios mean the exact same thing, though. That's what matters.
Republicans didn't post it. The House Dem Oversights posted it. Here it is. We got Trump's birthday note to Jeffrey Epstein that the president said doesn't exist. Trump talks about a wonderful secret the two of them shared. What is he hiding? Release the files now. So here it is.
We all know what it is.
Is exactly what the Wall Street Journal reported. You see the letter that Donald Trump sent to Epstein for his 50th birthday. It's written like this, in a voiceover, like a script. Voiced over. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald. It goes on to say, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact,
I'm not going to lie. This right here is old man Yowie. Don't forget it. All right? Like Donald Trump and Epstein's relationship, for all of the things that we call it, it is also absolutely old man Yowie.
It was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Donald J. Trump, signed Donald Trump right there.
Exactly. Toxic old man Yowie.
Now, what was their wonderful secret? What were their enigmas that never age? This was right during the time period that Epstein was leading his pedosex trafficking ring, which Donald Trump now claims is a total hoax, and we should not believe the victims, Donald Trump says. This is just something coming from the Democrats, Donald Trump says. Meanwhile, at that time period, Donald Trump said that Jeffrey Epstein was a great guy who likes women on the younger side. Donald Trump also sent Epstein.
Like, come on, guys. Like, Trump and Epstein are both definitely pedophiles. Like, let's stop even saying allegedly. I hope Donald Trump sues me. I will clout farm the fuck off of getting sued by Donald Trump. Okay? I will trust that you guys will provide me the legal funds needed to slap away his slap suit. So fuck it. It is very obvious. Donald Trump's a pedophile. He references it constantly. The types of people, if you've been online and you've encountered, like, the lolicon community, pedophiles are not just evil for what they want to do to kids. They're evil in that they want to, like, gloat about it. They enjoy good people knowing what they want to or have done or plan to do and being powerless to stop them from doing it. They love the distress that invokes in normal people. And so whenever I call out lolicons, they tend to start talking about how, like, they have a younger cousin or they babysit for a living, and they'll leave comments writing fan fiction about what they're going to do to a kid that's in their life proximity in your comments to try and, like, make you feel like you're powerless to stop them from hurting a child, which they gain a lot of joy from. In that same way, Donald Trump and Epstein very clearly like to tease and dog whistle and leave the truth in the open in this way where it's like it pays off for them, the idea that, like, they're doing horrible things, and in their minds it enhances the joy that they're doing horrible things. And not only does the public not know for a long time, but even once they did, the public was powerless to stop it. Trust me, these types of people they're way more evil than you would even think, right? What did I just walk in on? Donald Trump's letter to Jeffrey Epstein, his pedophilic birthday letter, fully leaked, and we're covering it.
Epstein a signed copy of Trump's book in 1997 called The Art of the Comeback, and it says, to Jeff, you are the greatest, Donald. And so let's take a look right here. This is shortly after the Wall Street Journal story broke. You have MAGA Mike Johnson on July 18th, 2025, saying the president and I talked about these ridiculous allegations from the Wall Street Journal this morning. He said, it's patently absurd. He's never drawn such a picture. Here's MAGA Mike, July 18th, 2025. Play this clip.
Sirens on drugs, woo, 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 because someone drew in 2003, might have drawn a picture of a body letter before the guy even, all the real info hadn't even been out at that point, I don't think, about this guy.
The president and I talked about that ridiculous allegation this morning. He said it's patently absurd. He's never drawn such a picture. He's never thought of drawing such a picture. And he said, did you see the language of this bogus supposed communication or card or something I supposedly sent to Epstein? He said, I don't talk like that. I don't think like that. They're literally making things up.
By the way, people took a bunch of clips of Trump talking exactly how he does in that letter. It's great. He claims he doesn't talk that way. He does, in fact, talk exactly that way, and there are many clips of him using the exact same, verbs to describe things, and the exact same sentence structure to, get across the same exact kind of point, if that makes sense. Also, you know who's been getting cooked since this came out? J.D. Vance. Because if you remember, back in July, when it came out that Trump had written this letter, originally, little J.D. Buttboy Vance went ahead and decided to defend his daddy, I guess. He said,
Hey, forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is this letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? What is his fantasy, boss?
God, yeah, so bro's getting fucking cooked right now. He posted that back on July 2017, running defense for his daddy, and now he is, he's just getting fucking destroyed. More often than usual. After the voice actor for Cartman dies, you should take his place next, Zan. Well, the voice actor for Cartman is one of the co-creators of the show. If that voice actor dies, then the show's probably done, so I don't think they'll be looking for a replacement, Maxim. Also, I think I do better at the Trump voice they do.
Relax, guy. Relax. Hey, Satan.
It's so good. I fucking love the voice they gave him. They just straight up made him Saddam Hussein. It's great.
And he's so frustrated by it, and he's going to wind up, I think, suing some of the media outlets that had put all this out there because they informed them that it was totally contrived. So, look, the president is the most maligned and attacked political figure in the history of American politics. There's no question,
sir. You can get his dick out of your mouth now. He's not here
about it, but he's also the most resilient. And you see at the same time, his approval ratings are skyrocketing. By CNN had a
As much as I would be ranting and raving about how retarded Americans are if that was true, thankfully it is not. In fact, Trump's approval ratings have been absolutely sinking. Like legitimately sinking like crazy. Google it if you like. The Epstein stuff has not gone over well for Trump.
Story, I think a day or two ago, he was at 90% approval rating. There's never been a president that high. So the more that they attack him, the more the American people see through it.
Now here's Donald Trump, July 28th, 2025, saying, "I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women." Play the clip.
Do you think that drawing, I think I heard you say something the other day, that the drawing that was the subject of the Wall Street Journal report.
I don't do drawings. I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings. Sometimes people say, would you draw a building? And I'll draw 4 lines and a little roof, for a charity stuff. But I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women. That I can tell you.
That would be gay, right?
They say there's a drawing of a woman. And I don't do drawings of women. And also, Epstein was always a very controversial guy.
I don't draw ever, but I especially would never draw a woman. Okay, man. You're totally not lying and full of shit right now. He's totally, I'm not even, come on. He's full of shit. He's lying out of his teeth. We all know. The more he talks, the more obvious it is that he's lying, and he thinks if he keeps talking, it makes him sound less guilty. But if you know anything, you know that the more someone talks when questioned about something like this, the more likely they're guilty and getting nervous.
I was at a very high position, pretty much all my life. In all fairness, I've been doing this for a long time. I had the top show on television. I had the #1 bestsellers. I had everything, right? And I was a very successful business guy. He was a very...
Wait until Donald Trump finds out how much porn artists make. Maybe he'll just completely career pivot when he finds out how much money he could be making.
Very controversial. Who would do a controversial drawing? Now, with that being said, they say there were many letters done by many people, and many big people.
I would love if Trump then said, "Who drew this drawing? I'll kick their ass." I would never do that, but who did? I'll kick their ass. I wish he took it that far, trying to come off as innocent.
Big successful people, but I just don't. When you talk about files. I just keep going back, and other people too. Even the enemy says this thing is not correct, because if we had it, we would have used it on the guy. It's a bad issue. They say it's a good issue for Trump. Do you know that my poll numbers are up 4.5 points?
This was J.D. Vance's post right around July 17th, July 18th, in response to the Wall Street Journal story about the birthday card for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday. And then J.D. Vance goes, "Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit. The Wall Street Journal should be
What is the fantasy, boss?
ashamed for publishing it. Where is the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing?"
Forgive my language, but this story is incomplete and utter bullshit. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is this letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe that this sounds like Donald Trump?
I gotta get really good at that Vance voice. I am going to use Lil JD Vance from the South Park episodes in my thumbnail. I'm gonna find a way to squeeze him in there. I love looking at that design too much. It makes making thumbnails where I include him so much more fun.
Publishing it. Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? Yeah, we all believe it. That's what he sounds. He's a sexual predator. Okay, he's a sexual abuser. It should be noted as well that today the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit upheld the verdict by E. Jean Carroll against Donald Trump for defaming his sexual assault victim.
That's right. Court ruled today Donald Trump is fully liable to E. Jean Carroll. Held up her end of things. That was today's big ruling. I was going to roll it into this segment as well. I'm glad Midas Touch is bringing it up already. Good channel, Midas Touch. I like their stuff. They don't really, add... they just give the news really straight out. There's not much, commentary there or, opinion insertion there. So it's a really good channel to watch on this channel. Because then we just get the info and I can, give the commentary on top of that. It's nice. I feel like it's a good combo, like peanut butter and jelly.
E. Jean Carroll upheld.
And you guys are the bread.
The $83 million verdict. So yes, JD, on the day where that happened and where the Second Circuit Court of Appeals said Donald Trump's conduct was particularly egregious, yeah, I absolutely believe it. JD Vance goes on to say, the contention, which is pretty clear if you just read what I said, is that it's bogus for the Wall Street Journal to publish a hit piece without showing us the letter. I have no idea if the book exists. Wall Street Journal won't show it to us. I have no idea if the letter exists. Wall Street Journal won't show it to us. What I find absurd is the idea that Donald Trump was writing poems to Epstein, and I find it equally...
I love how they knew it existed, too, because not only did Donald Trump know it existed, he wrote it, but also it was the House that managed to get this thing dug up. So the government already had access to it through the Epstein estate. At some point, clearly, they knew of its existence. Like we got news of it months ago, and then they ended up getting access to it through the Epstein estate. Clearly... the government knew that this existed when the reporting happened, and they denied it existed anyway, and now it's fully confirmed that it existed. And they're still trying to pull the whole you can't trust the media thing.
Absurd that a major American paper would attack the president of the United States without revealing the basis for the attack. We all know what's going to happen. They're going to dribble little details out for days or weeks in an effort to assassinate Donald Trump's character. They won't show us this book or allow us to refute it until they've wrung every bit of fake news out of the story, and everyone will just move on from the fact that Wall Street Journal is acting like a Democrat super PAC. It's disgraceful, and it's why the president sued. Well, he's going to lose that lawsuit. We already know in connection with that lawsuit, Donald Trump caved. He said he wanted Rupert Murdoch's...
Don't talk bad about me, I'll sue you.
Yes, Donald Trump is anti-free speech. He will sue you if you criticize him. I dare you to sue me, Trump. You will lose, and I will get tons of clout off you doing it. And on top of that, my fans will pay for the lawyer's fees, and I will win. And yeah, I'm gonna go out of my way to call Trump a pedophile as often as I can. Because the more I think about it, the more it would... I believe it would be the coolest fucking thing ever if he tried to hit me with a slap suit. I hope he does it. I low-key really hope he does it. Let's try to see if we can bait him into it. I hope every content creator and media outlet out there just tries to bait Trump into slap suiting them. If you overwhelm him, he's not going to be able to sue everybody. Yeah, tons of states have anti-slap laws, too.
Deposition, and then paused that discovery has stayed right there as they're trying to work out a backroom deal. Seems pretty clear to me that's what's taking place. And what actually happened was after the Wall Street Journal story dropped, I believed, and I think the Trump regime believed as well, it was someone in Ghislaine's world that had a copy that leaked it in order to get Donald Trump's attention. Trump then sends his former criminal defense attorney, the number 2 at the Department of Justice, Todd Blanche, to meet with Ghislaine in her Tallahassee maximum security facility where she was serving a 20-year sentence for being convicted of child sex trafficking. They then move her, after granting her immunity, to a minimum security facility in Camp Bryan, Texas, which is...
You know what's crazy? Not obviously Trump is, giving favors to Ghislaine Maxwell for clearing his name, but it's like Trump supporters refuse to listen to the 20-plus women who all say Trump diddled them when they were underage. Yet meanwhile, Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted child sex predator, says Donald Trump was only ever a gentleman. They're like, yes, Queen Ghislaine. whatever you say is gospel. Donald Trump has been cleared of all charges.
Is like the most desired prison camp to be in, and that's where she's at right now, as Donald Trump is dangling a pardon in front of her, and all because Donald Trump is trying to cover this up. As a reminder as well, Donald Trump was asked a few months ago, were you ever briefed about your name being in the Epstein files? He lies and says, nope, he was never briefed. We know he was briefed. He lies about everything.
We know.
He was briefed that his name, back in May, his name appears multiple times. It's probably appears in a very, very serious negative sense. It's going to be really bad for him. This is why he ordered that his name be redacted and removed. Of course, that's what's happening. Here, play this clip.
No, I was never briefed. No.
Did you ask how? What are you hoping Todd Blanche interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell?
Now, last week, when the president of Poland was at the White House, Donald Trump said that I understand that the Department of Justice was subpoenaed by the House of Representatives to get all of the Epstein files. He goes, we've turned over everything. We've turned over thousands of files. We're fully compliant. There's nothing else for us to do. It's a Democratic hoax. We need to move on. It's not a Democratic hoax. It's a sex trafficking ring where Ghislaine Maxwell was found guilty in a federal court of law. We know that billionaires are being covered up for by the regime right now, and we want the files released. Anyway, here's what Donald Trump said. Play this clip.
Nobody's going to talk about, because they're going to talk about the Epstein whatever. I understand that we were subpoenaed to give.
The Epstein whatever. Yeah, you know, because no one cares, clearly. It's like, why are people still, no one cares about this. Why are we still talking about this Epstein guy who just won't die, as he said it? Like, he could not have worded that in a way that made it any more clear that he's behind Epstein's murder. I fully believe Epstein was murdered and Trump gave the order. Fully. Wasn't the Clintons, wasn't anyone, it was Trump. Trump was president when it happened. Come on, it was him. Trump literally said Epstein just won't die. That is what someone who ordered a hit on someone and can't get away with it says. Yeah, like, translation, I thought I killed this guy. Why are you still talking about him? Exactly.
Files, and I understand we've given thousands of pages of files, and I know that no matter what you do, it's going to keep going. And I think it's enough, because I think we should talk about the greatness of our country and the success that we're having. I think we're probably having, according to what I read, even from two people in this room, we're having the most successful 8 months of any president ever. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what we should be talking about.
That quote didn't age too well, considering, go ahead and Google Trump's approval rates. Just look up Trump approval rate. Just Google that real fast and go ahead and take a nice little gander.
Not the Epstein hoax.
Remember when the victims were on Capitol Hill at the same time Donald Trump was defaming them? That's what Donald Trump does. He defames sexual assault victims. The victims were asked, well, what's your response to Donald Trump saying it's a hoax? Here's what they said.
Listen, I don't want to send a direct message to him. I'm already scared enough. Yeah, just pass the vote. Listen to us. This is not a hoax. Like, it's not going to go away. And like I said on my speech earlier, we're not going to be silenced anymore. We will be speaking moving forward. Wherever we need to be, we will be, and we need to pass this.
Go ahead. Now, Michael Wolff, Trump's former biographer, someone who was potentially going to be Jeffrey Epstein's biographer. He interviewed Epstein multiple times, has about 100 hours of audio tape of Epstein. Michael Wolff was asked, what do you think the secret is in that letter at that time when Donald Trump saying our little secrets, enigmas never age? At that time, Wolff believed
it's just so fucking obvious, man. Like, they literally enjoy dog whistling their pedophilia to each other. Like, it's not just the obvious evil, it's that they like take joy in that obvious evil that makes them like even more evil. I don't know if you guys have like know about this, but like Twitter lolicons, like it's a trend for them to make like in their bios on Twitter, they put substitute teacher or babysitter. Like they'll say that's their job. So that way, if you're like arguing with them on Twitter and you're like, you hover over their account, you see, presumably they work a job in which they're in very close proximity to children because they gain joy in the idea of people being like, oh my God, that is fucking disgusting. They love reveling in it. Like, this is not a brave take, but like, I hope you guys fully understand how much it's true. Pedophiles are fucking evil, dude. And the internet has empowered them to get so much more proud about it, if that makes sense. Um, it's really, especially on Twitter. Elon has enabled this shit largely. Like, I've never seen it more rampant than on Twitter. It's bad. Yeah, I guess they're sadists, like a brand of sadist.
Based on what he was told, that Epstein and Trump were sharing a young person together. Not sure if it was a girl or a woman, but someone very young who they were both with at the same time, who they would talk about passing from house to house, back and forth as a girlfriend is what they said. And I'll just let Wolf say it in his own words. Here, play this clip.
The birthday letter that Donald Trump apparently wrote for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, and this idea that they shared a wonderful secret. What do you think he's referring to?
I think that he is referring to the girlfriend that they shared at that point in time, 92, 93. So there was a woman, and as far as I know, she's not underage, but who they literally shared, who literally went back and forth between these two guys.
And she went back and forth.
Oh shit, Donald Trump and Epstein were Eskimo brothers? Who would have possibly guessed?
Both in the same bed.
Is that a racist term? That might be a racist term. I guess I'm gonna get canceled now.
With the two of them? Was it a threesome, or she was dating both of them separately?
I don't know the mechanics. I know that during the same period, and they openly, this wasn't hidden from either one, they openly shared this particular
Yep, it's a racist term. Well, to all my Inuit homies watching the stream right now, I hope you guys don't take it too seriously. I'm gonna be honest. I think Inuit people are too busy like hunting seals right now and collecting blubber for the winter to give a fuck. But you know, I could be wrong.
Woman that she went out with both of them at the same time, and they both understood that.
And also, Michael Wolff said that Jeffrey Epstein showed him photos of topless girls sitting on Donald Trump's lap by Epstein's pool. One of them showed Donald Trump with a stain on the front of Donald Trump's pants with 3 or 4.
The president's a fucking pedophile, dude. And it's not even like, whoa, the president's a pedophile. He's always been, and it just becomes more and more and more and more undeniable with each passing day. And it's like, brother, what fucking timeline are we in? We have nudes of the First Lady? Yes, I've seen the First Lady's tits. What timeline are we in, dude? What fucking timeline is this, bro? Like, did I die 6, 10 years ago? Or not? I think I died 9 years ago, or maybe was in a helicopter crash and have been in a coma. I hope I wake up in the next, like, month to the man who sold the world in a fucking Cyprus hospital, because that timeline is better than what is in front of us right now. What the fuck has been going on since 2016? We are in, like, the wacky world now. You made every physicist pull their hair out when you mentioned timelines, Zan. Yeah, we're in the worst timeline.
4 of these young girls laughing and pointing at it, unclear what their ages were. Here, play this clip.
And I've said before that Epstein used to bring out this set of pictures. There were about a dozen snapshots. And among them, there are at least 3 that I remember, 2 of topless girls sitting in Trump's lap around Epstein's swimming pool, and then one with a stain on the front of Trump's pants with 3 or 4 girls laughing and pointing at it. So I have seen those pictures.
So what's your best guess?
Sir, I don't think you understand what we would do to get that picture. If you can get that picture and you can disseminate it publicly, please, God, okay, please make that happen, sir. If that image comes to light, it was going to be my go-to Twitter reaction image for any Trump supporter I encounter. Just a bunch of women pointing at Trump, like at Trump's dick, frankly. Pointing and laughing at Trump's dick. There's genuinely no recovery from that if that comes out, I feel.
Where they are.
Well, I'm my best guess is that Epstein kept them in the safe. The safe was emptied out by the FBI. Where are those pictures?
Well, there you have it, folks, a blockbuster. And let me say this again. This is a testament to the work of the newly energized Democrats in the House of Representatives, led by Democratic Congressmember Robert Garcia of the House Oversight Committee. He's now the ranking member. Remember, he won that election to become the ranking member for the Democrats, and he's been pushing this forward every single day. Subpoenas to the DOJ, continuing to follow up. Subpoenas for Ghislaine Maxwell, continuing to follow up. Subpoenas to the Epstein estate, continuing to follow up. There we have it, folks. And I hope that was helpful and comprehensive, putting all of those receipts and data points all together, as we always do here on the Midas Touch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers together. Love this video?
Hell yeah. Hit the subscribe and like button on this video too. I would love to hit... Yeah, let's get to 10 million, actually. We're going to beat Midas Touch. Do it. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 10 million. We're so close, guys. We're at 109,600. We're just so close to 10 million. Come on, guys. Hit that sub button. We're so close. Anyway. I'm sorry for that. As I was saying, at least we elected Donald Trump. And now, we've saved all those kids from the trans and gay people who literally commit less sex crimes statistically than cis and straight people. Isn't it a good thing that we really focused our attention on what mattered? Not straight, cis, old, rich white men with lots of power who statistically have always been the highest likelihood to harm children and girls. No, we focused on the demographic who is arguably the least likely to do so. Going off of the data, of course. Per capita, even. Adjusting for totals. So, yeah, this is the most indefensible type of shit that the right has pushed. Like, we're at the point now where, like, we really gotta stop accepting any level of gaslighting from them, that anything they do is with the intent of protecting children, because they wouldn't vote for and continue to defend voting for a pedophile if it was actually true. Really, really don't let these people off on the they are pro-pedophilia point. Do not back down off of it. That is what they are if they still support Trump now. They are the pedophile supporters. That is what they need to be known as. And hopefully, the fact that that's what they are will shame them away from supporting this stupid, retarded piece of shit who's ruining our country, driving it straight into the ground, and making us all wish we were Canadian. Which is already on its own enough for me to want to see Trump impeached and in prison. Anyone who makes me wish I was Canadian, how bad, that gives you some perspective on just how bad it is, okay? Anyway, folks, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it entertaining, educational, or enjoyable in any way, then please consider leaving a like and a comment down below, as it really does help to boost the channel in the algorithm, helps to please the AI overlords who now decide whether or not I get to be a YouTuber, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon and turn on all notifications if you're new here and you want to see more from me. And of course, if you want to see more from me on other platforms, follow my social medias linked down below in the description, particularly my fan Discord, as that is the main hub of my community and fan base, and on top of that, I host weekly gaming events, call-in streams, watch parties, and movie nights there. So if you guys don't want to miss anything, that's the place to be. You won't regret joining. Finally, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub to somebody else on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buy some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below. Regardless of how you support me though, thank you all so much for watching, as always, and have a good one.